Hello everyone and happy World Meteorological Day. So we're going to be having a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. In this video, day 10 is going to take us to the 2nd of April. We'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They've run around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. The first video release day was the ECM WF 30-day look ahead. So have a look at that one and see what ECM is forecasting for Northern Europe over the next 4 weeks. We do actually extend out to weeks 5 and 6, so it is like a 42-day forecast, really, but longitudinally it's supposed to be like a 30-day, but we still include weeks 5 and 6 data. In any case, anyway, have a look at that and see what's going on there. So if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please can you give us a sub. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We're currently standing at 10,769 subscribers. We're trying to get ourselves to 11k subs. If you aren't yet subbed, then please can you subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends, family, everybody else to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Right, got the CET today. This hasn't been updated for about a week, but CET is back today. So this is provisional up to the 22nd of March, up to yesterday. CET is provisionally standing at 6.3. That is an anomaly of just 1 degree above average. So it has been a rather milder than average March, not excessively so, but a little bit above average so far. I don't think that's going to move a great deal more. It may deviate slightly, probably drop a little bit at the end of this week into the weekend, and then may rise a little bit early next week. I'd anticipate we'll finish somewhere around the low to mid 6s when we come to month's end. But anyway, the CT is back. That follows on, of course, from February. It came out at 5.1. That's 1.5 degrees above average, despite having the coldest spell of the winter in the second week of February, and then a colder than average January. This is how the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles are looking for the next couple of weeks. So we're looking at Leeds today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Leeds. We're starting off actually a little bit above average with the upper air temperatures at the moment. We're going to stay around a little bit above average over the next few days, but at the end of the week into the weekend, it will go colder briefly Friday into Saturday, and the upper air temperature should actually go below average. Early next week, the upper air temperature then start to take off again. In fact, we may just about manage to pull off around 20 degrees sometime around the early part of next week for the first time this year. I would not be surprised if we got temperature quite close to 70 Fahrenheit at the early part, or in the early part of next week. But then after that, big changes again, quite a drop in the temperature, upper air temperatures taking place as we go through the first week of April. This includes the Easter period, of course, and the operational run is again looking pretty cold. That's a thick green line just there. We'll have a look at it in a moment. Many of the other ensemble members are becoming colder as well, although I can't totally discount these ensemble members up here, which are milder, but it definitely looks as though after like a push up in the temperature early next week, we may well get quite a significant drop as we move towards the Easter period. Could we be in for a cold Easter? Could we be in for a white Easter? Have to wait and see. Precipitation-wise, there'll be quite a bit of dry weather around over the next few days, but as we go through to the end of the week and into the weekend, it will get more unsettled with spells of rain pushing through, particularly sort of late Thursday night into Friday and then on into weekend and early next week, looking rather unsettled and possibly staying quite showery into the first week of April too. Temperature anomalies from the 22nd of March to the 30th. We're going to be very, very close to average. So we've got some cooler days and some milder days offsetting one another. Not a big deviation either way. Precipitation anomalies on the 22nd, 30th of March. Going to be wetter than average for the northwest, but drier than average in the south and in the southeast too. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that the high pressure, which had been dominating weather over the past week or two, bringing probably the dry weather, is now breaking down as low pressure and westerlies begin to move in from off the Atlantic. So yesterday we saw these west-south westerlies away to our north and west. Today we see the west-south westerlies moving in towards Ireland and the UK. So the ridge, the high pressure, is definitely weakening, and things are definitely starting to become more unsettled from off the Atlantic. So the UK Met is looking for Friday. Low pressure will be in the North Atlantic on Friday, and that's going to bring a band of rain across the country Thursday night into Friday. As that pushes through, the air will go colder, and so showers will turn wintry, perhaps into low levels across parts of Scotland during the course of Friday afternoon. Saturday looks like quite a cold and showery day with a strong west-northwesterly wind. Again, wintry showers possible in the north and west. So there is a little transient ridge building in through the course of Saturday, which will probably kill off a lot of the showers, but will be quite a chilly start to the weekend. And then Sunday probably brings another bout of wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. We get through into Monday, and looking quite unsettled, rain in the north and west, but the thing with this is that drawing up a very mild southwesterly wind. So early next week we might get the temperature, depending on how much cloud there is, depending on how much rain there is, where the sunshine is, we might get the temperature to around 20 degrees sometime around Monday or Tuesday next week for the first time this year. That's how the GFS 6Z is looking. Again, a band of wet and windy weather push across the country overnight Thursday into Friday. That clears away, leaves us with sunshine, but also chance of some wintry showers from Friday into Saturday. Then the next low pressure comes in on Sunday. That will bring more spells of rain, particularly to the north and the west. Probably turning dry, though, down in the south, I would have thought. This ridge of high pressure strengthens around France early next week. Again, we're dragging up a very mild, possibly even, you would say, warm southerly to southwesterly wind. There will be weather fronts in the north, though, but will bring outbreaks of rain. But for England and Wales, we might get that temperature to around 20 degrees for the first time early next week. But notice by Wednesday, it's all changed. High pressure then is repositioning out to the northwest of the country, and we're starting to pull in a much cooler north to northeasterly wind. That takes into the second half next week, running up towards the Easter period. We've got high pressure across Scotland. We've got wind in from the east. Not a particularly cold east at this point, but it will be a lot cooler compared to the earlier part of the week. But then look what happens as we go further on into the Easter period. This is Friday, 2nd of April, day 10. GFS 6Z takes that high pressure and moves it up to Greenland. Retrogression of the high pressure, or retrogression of the high pressure, moving to Greenland and pulling the wind into the north. And so we actually set up, a genuinely cold spell of weather as we go through the Easter weekend, with a blocking area of high pressure around Greenland, Iceland, and a strong east to northeasterly wind. This is coming from a cold source as well, this northeasterly. So in April, I explained this in previous videos, in April, easterlies don't have to be all that cold, but it does depend on the source of the air. If the air is coming like south of east, the origins of the air is like southeast, then east won't be particularly cold. But if the air is coming like north of east, and in this case it is, then it can still be quite cold with easterly winds, especially in the first half of April. And that's exactly what's going on there. The origin of the air is like from northern Scandinavia. So this is a genuinely cold east-northeasterly that sets up over Easter with this GFS 6. As you see, -5 Celsius is being pushed through the country. It's probably cold enough to bring wintry showers to eastern parts of the country, and just generally really quite a cold sort of feel. That's Easter Sunday, 4th of April. High pressure then is sitting just to the south of Greenland, so blocking area of high pressure. Low pressure is across Spain. That will bring heavy rain to them. This rain is probably threatening to push northwards into the UK. We're rapidly running out of cold air. That's the thing about cold weather in April. Like the source of the cold air can't be sustained all that long. So we're beginning to run out of that -5 Celsius. At 850 HPA type air, and actually milder air with rain is trying to push up from the south. If that comes up from the south, of course, that gives us heavy rain over the Easter weekend. We stay blocked, though, right to the end of this GFS 6Z run, so high pressure remains routed over Greenland, blocking area of high pressure, and we continue to look quite unsettled as well. So you would say probably quite a cold and wet first week to April. With this, which is not what we've been expecting at all, really. With from the longer range model output, particularly the CFS, it's all been high pressure for April. But this is looking like a cold and wet first week to April anyway. Not terribly inspiring. Let's have a look at the precipitation type forecast based on that GFS 6Z run from the weather outlook. So rain will be moving in from the Atlantic through Thursday into Friday. There'll be some quite heavy rain around. Could last for much of a day actually across England and Wales on Friday. Actually, that's just precipitation, so we want to get precipitation type. Sorry about that, that's just precipitation rate. So this is my precipitation type. Right, this looks a little bit more like it. Let's start again. So we're going to be seeing outbreaks of rain moving in from off the Atlantic from Thursday into Friday. Could be raining all day across much of England and Wales on Friday. Some heavy rain as well. Wintry showers packing into West Scotland, Northern Ireland, possibly some wintry showers coming to Wales as well. The rain finally gets out into the North Sea by the end of Friday evening, and then we're into clearer spells, but with wintry showers into the north and the west. Rain comes back and it turns milder on Sunday and into the early part of next week, looking quite wet, but will be very wet in the northwest, but will be dry and very mild, potentially down in the south. Into the second half of next week, this is when we start pulling that colder air from the east, so let's see what happens with that. So there's probably a cold front dropping southwards, bringing outbreaks of rain, opening the door towards the east winds. You see there is a suggestion here of wintry showers, snow showers into Scotland, maybe wintry showers for parts of central and eastern England on those east to northeasterly winds. Looking pretty cold and wet, isn't it? With rain, sleet, and possibly some snow around. It's Easter Sunday, but you know, there is a white Easter suggested there for parts of Wales and Northern England. It's in the low res time frame of the model, but it doesn't look terribly inspiring, I have to say, this Easter. And then we go drier for a while, but we end up bringing more rain and possibly some wintry weather back in to the north and west as well. So it's not great, is it? Unless you like cold and damp and possibly at times wintry weather over Easter. This how the GEM is looking. So again, wet and windy on Friday, being replaced by sunshine, wintry showers into northwest Saturday, more wind and rain on Sunday. Early next week, it's wettest and most on Saturday in the northwest, driest in the south, and very mild. We're drawing the air up from the Azores across England and Wales. So the first half next week will be very mild, but then all changing the second half next week as the high pressure pulls up to Greenland. This trough of low pressure again digs in from the north. We turn the wind into the north by day 10. Good Friday is turning cold with northeasterly winds. And there's a prospect, you know, of snow being drawn into the northern half of the country, and particularly over high ground, of course. But you know, maybe a little bit coming down to lower levels. So that model GM is also going in an increasingly blocked and cold and unsettled direction for Easter. Let's see what the ECM is doing. So again, that's looking rather wet and windy on Friday. Sunshine and wintry showers into northwest on Saturday. More wind and rain in from off the Atlantic on Sunday into the early part of next week. Again, rain in the northwest, probably reasonably dry in the south, but we're drawing up this very mild southwesterly into the south, so temperatures will be lifting up, maybe as high as around 19 or 20 degrees far south southeast, but the north, of course, will be cooler. Through to the middle of next week, we start to push this trough low pressure through, start to turn the wind into a colder northwesterly direction. So the ECM is also going in the same direction as the other models, really, by day 10, which is Friday, 2nd of April, Good Friday. Trough of low pressure is to the south of the country, ridge building up through the middle of the North Atlantic, heading up towards Greenland, and winds turning into the northeast. It looks like it's becoming increasingly unsettled for Easter, and potentially quite cold with risk of snow in the northern half of the country anyway. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tameteo.com. So again, rain piling in from the Atlantic at the end of the week. That gets replaced by sunshine and wintry showers into the northwest. Then we go drier later in the weekend into part of next week in the southeast, but there is heavy rain for northern and northwestern parts of the country early next week on these long fetch southwesterly winds. We push out wet weather to the south and the east as we come up to the end of April. And by day 10, next area of low pressure is moving in from the north. That's bringing heavy rain into the north as the air's turning colder, winds turning into the north. Some of that precipitation is turning to snow, especially across parts of Scotland. Means that the options are on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 2nd of April, Good Friday. We have 12 members of the ECM ensembles with a bit of mid-Atlantic ridge, but also some higher pressure to our south. So that's probably keeping things relatively mild, but if we could go on any further, we would probably see the wind turning into the north with that, to be honest. 9 have us under an area of high pressure, so that's going to be nice and settled, of course. Another 9 have a mid-Atlantic ridge heading up towards Greenland and a trough of low pressure over the UK and Western Europe. Winds will be in from a northeasterly direction with that, so turning increasingly unsettled and cold. That includes the control and the operational run. 9, another 9 with high pressure just out to our west, winds kind of west, slightly northwesterly. 6 with high pressure over top of the country, that could be mainly dry. And another 6 with a mid-Atlantic ridge, again going up towards southern Greenland, trough low pressure into our northwest, and that's probably going to turn winds into the north. So increasing signals for things to turn unsettled and potentially colder as we move towards the Easter period. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This goes to the 7th of April. 12 members of the ECM ensembles have low pressure to our south. High pressure will be to our northeast. Winds will be in from a sort of southeasterly type direction. This low pressure will probably bring some heavy rain, but it should be relatively mild with that. 11, just here, have low pressure to our east-southeast, and that's going to be unsettled and potentially rather on the cold side. 10 will have high pressure way to our west-northwest. Winds will be again coming in from quite a cold northerly direction. Another 10 just here with high pressure more or less over the top of the country. Should be plenty of dry weather with that and reasonably mild as winds are coming in from the west. And 6 with high pressure to our north, winds probably coming in from the east. But I wouldn't have thought that would be a particularly cold easterly. So there's a lot of options to get through here. For days 10 to 14. It really is up for grabs, but there is a potential that for a while anyway, things could get quite cold and unsettled during the early part of April. Finally, the CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from 23rd, 29th of March. Coming week has high pressure to our south, low pressure to our north-northwest. Winds are in from a west-southwest direction. Most of the settled weather will be in the northwest, driest weather will be in the south, and it will be potentially very mild in the south too. Week 2 is going to be the 30th of March to the 5th of April. Just generally dominated by high pressure, and a little bit at odds with what we've been seeing from the shorter range model output. That looks like it would be relatively dry and mild, doesn't it? Go through to week 3. This is going to be the 6th through to the 12th of April. The high pressure's gone north, Scandinavia, and is going over towards Greenland as well. Winds are in from like an easterly direction. I would have thought that's overly cold, though. It looks like the air should be more sort of south of east rather than north of east with that. So, I mean, it will be cooler compared to weeks 1 and 2, but I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that's a particularly cold easterly. And then by week 4, it's all back to normal anyway. This is the 13th to the 19th of April. High pressure and centred across Central Europe and drawing wind back up from like a mild or in quite warm sort of southerly type direction. So yeah, it's a little bit of a confused picture, and we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. I think we're going to focus on the Easter period and whether we're going to get a shot of cold air from the north and from the northeast or not. If you enjoyed the video, please can you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. We're trying to get ourselves to 11k subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see future weather content. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, that's it for today's vid. So tomorrow, we're going to have, I think tomorrow, we're having USA forecast, have a 10 to 14 day, and probably our next Easter update as well. There may be a snow watch coming up later this week as well for like Friday for the north. So just watch your space on that. Right, so that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of Tuesday, and bye for now.